Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. How are you this week? It's the last week of June. Oh my gosh, it's hard to believe, right? That we're already almost into July. This year is just flying by. So welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new, make sure you say hi. We have the chat going on to the side, especially if you see the red little line, that means the chat is active. If you don't, then you're watching the replay, and then you should be able to read the chat once the video processes. If you have any questions, make sure you put it over there. Or like I said, if it's not live, then just put it down underneath in the comment section, and then YouTube will let me know that you have made a comment, and then I can answer you. You can also email me directly as well. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And like I said, if you're here from before, welcome back. My name is Diana Gibbs, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in San Tan Valley, Arizona, where it's super hot and a little muggy right now because we had a lot of rain over the weekend, which we totally need. And they call it the monsoon season in Arizona. And it usually happens into the evening, and the big wind comes through, blows dust everywhere, and hopefully rain as well. So hopefully wherever you are viewing from, you are enjoying your summer and you are safe and well. So today is my Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So basically it just means I'm going to case something out of the catalog for Mimeograph Monday. Then I'm going to do another card with it as a twist, where it's kind of like my version. I change it up, and it's always fun to see which card you like the best. So let's see who's here. We have Lala and Teresa and Candy. Oh, Sherry and Susie Q and Joanne is here too. So welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to turn the phone. So let me just cover this so you don't get seasick. All right. So let's see here. All right, you can see I'm going to be using my cut and emboss. That's there. Don't forget about the June hostess code. So you only have a few more days to use this, and then we'll have a brand new one for July. Then this is what you want to use only if you are ordering less than 150. And I know that's you're like, wow, that's a lot. And it is, but some people do it. And if you don't want to use my code, because then you'll get your own host benefits. If you are ordering less, then just use that, and then they get all accumulated, and then I use the free in order to give the incentives every month, the goodies and the guts and stuff like that. So anyway, all right, so that is that. So let's see what I'm using today. So I'm going to be using the Adventurous Journey stamp set, and it is so cute. Now, I will not be doing either of these. I wear glasses and hearing aids, so I don't usually do a lot of water kind of things because of that. But I loved this set, and I have a lot of friends that do the kayaking, so maybe they'll see it and go, oh, I need that set. So this is the one I'm going to be doing. Let's see, what else am I using? I'm also going to be using the basic borders die, and I need this one right here. If you don't have this die, this is a must-have. I'm using this one, but it has all these cool shapes, but it also has, you can see I've got the washi tape on there, and I just kind of leave it on there till it gets, it's just old washi tape till it's not tacky anymore. Excuse me, it has this really cute cloud, and I've used this tons. All right, so, but we're just going to use this, whatever that's kind of ovalish, right? All right, so let me put this off to the side. Let me get the catalog so I can show you the card that we're going to be doing. So page 85. And here's my little recipe, so I knew what to grab. So I'm going to be doing this card right here. Hello, Dawn. All right, so I'm going to be doing this card right here. This one caught my eye immediately, as well as this one. But I thought, you know what? I want to do this. I have never done this before, where you put like the two pieces together. And this was fun to do. All right, so this is what I'm going to be doing. All right. So let me get my pieces I need. All right, excuse my arm. All right, so these are the pieces I need right here. So I have them all in this little envelope, which hopefully reminds me to stamp it. Half the time it doesn't. All right, so we have our crumb cake as our card base. So we'll set that aside. And then I need these little pieces for later. All right, so now I have a piece of old olive and a piece of crumb cake, and I just cut them 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So basically they're a quarter of a sheet of paper, because this is the one. So they're going to go like this. All right. So I need to open up my cut and emboss, and let me raise this up just a little bit. All right, let me tighten it just a tad. So hopefully not too much, and then I can't get it untightened. All right, just so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so we have our cut and emboss. So we need our number 1 plate, our number 2 plate. Then we need a clear plate. All right. So then I have my 2 pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to put them on here. And I want them to stay together. Like I want them to stay like on top of each other. So then I'm going to take my die, and I'm just going to put it on here so that it makes sure it's going to cut it totally. Like I don't want to put it in here, because then this won't cut. So you just want to make sure that you put it so that the die goes outside of the cardstock. All right, and you don't want it to move. All right, then we're going to put our little plate like that. And then we're going to zip it through. Okay. So now I have my pieces. So let's just put this there so I don't lose it. All right, and now I can get this off my table. I love that it folds, so I can put it, it just usually sits behind me, but I don't use it a ton. A lot of time I do the die cutting first, but this time I wanted you to see how I got that piece. All right, so hold on a second. I'll take that off of my desk. All right, so let me move this down. Let me scoot this back down. Thank you for allowing me to do the adjustments. All right, so that you can see a little bit better. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's bring our card over. And then, so I have these 2 pieces, right? So what I'm going to do is I want this one. We're going to hold on to this one. And we're going to hold on to this one. Now I'm going to put these together because these match up. So if you're going to do more later, you want to make sure you keep these 2 together, because if you do one separately, it might not match, right? Because you want, these are like, would you call that male and female? I don't know. Yin and yang, A and B, I really don't know. But you want to keep those together. So I have like a stack of them off to the side, so I know to keep them together. All right. Now I also want my Stamparatus so that I can glue these pieces right on top. So what I mean is I have this card, and this card is the same size as these. So I'm just going to put it on my Stamparatus. Then I want my old olive piece. So let me get my multi-purpose glue. And then Jody, and oh my gosh, I can't remember Jody's last name. Oh, she told me to put a rubber band around my bottle because my little lid flip-flops. So this is just a little bottle I got off of Amazon. And this is just a green tip glue, the multi-purpose, but it's easier to kind of manage or whatever. So you still have to clean the tip out of it. All right. So anyways, so I'm going to put my green tip glue on my old olive. And then what I put the Stamparatus on here because now this is right up in the corner. I can put this right up in the corner and along the edge. And I know it's going to match because it can't go like out of the way, right? Because it's going to totally match that. All right. So give that a little pressure. And then I'm just going to move my magnet up so it holds that in place. Then I'm going to glue this one, and I'm just going to look because I can see this one has a couple little, would you call them chads, where it gets a little bit of paper. So I just take my pick tool, and you have different things you can put on it. So you have your pick tool, it picks things up with the putty. Then you can take this out. But I have a few, so I don't have to be taking them out. So you have your little brush. So I just bought a couple of them. Then you have this one, which works with your, oh my gosh, score. And then you've got a big one and a little one. And then you have this, right, which picks up. And then you have this flat piece, which is great if you are trying to get, when you die cut stuff out, and then sometimes it sticks, it makes the die almost stick into the cardstock. This is so skinny, it goes up underneath and releases that. All right, so that's the little doohickeys. So anyway, so back to this. So what I do is I just take the little brush, and what this does is it cleans all those little pieces of the cardstock off of there. Now I have to blow it. I shouldn't have did it over top of here. All right, so now we're going to glue this piece right here because see, it matches it perfectly. And then we're going to stamp on it. And I'm going to use the old faithful Stamp-A-Jig for that. All right, so now we do the same thing. We're going to butt this up so it matches my edge here and my edge here. And then I just make sure I push it so that this piece is totally against this piece. So this is why you want to keep them together because they won't all match, right? Because it's not like this is just kind of put on there. Like it might be off a little bit the next time and then those pieces won't match up. So you just want to make sure that you keep them together. All right, let me put this lid back on there. All right. So that's good. So now we can take this off of here. All right, so now we have our card. I want to get my grid sheet. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my boat. So I kept calling it a canoe, but I'm like, well, maybe it's not a canoe. I'm not sure what it is. I'm also going to use the Versamark. Now, Versamark is like a tone-on-tone pad. It's a watermark pad. So any of the cardstocks that you stamp on it is just a shade darker. So it's like however many ink pads you have in your stash, it just doubles all those colors. All right, so I need that. I also stamped ahead of time on my little piece of plastic, and I know the Stamp-A-Jig is not a current. I've had people ask me, hey, Brenton, where I got this, because it does say Stampin' Up, right? And this is something that we carried years ago, and I just still have it, and I'm sure you do too. So I have put it in the sandbox a few times because I would love for Stampin' Up to bring it back, because I love the Stamparatus, but sometimes the Stamp-A-Jig is better in a certain times. And this is one of those times, I feel. All right, so we have our little boat here. And I'm going to put our little boat right there. So I'm just putting my jig. Now I know you can see through this, so I probably don't really need to use my Stamparatus, but I want it to be like totally straight. And so I'm just using it. I probably don't need to because you can see through it. But all right, so this is just a Versamark right on there, and you can see, so see how it's just a shade darker? So it was one pad, but you have like two different colors basically from it. All right, now I need to plug my heat tool in because I'm going to be doing some embossing. But I also want to speed this Versamark up drying, so I'm just going to heat it a second. So sorry for the noise. So I'm just going to heat that Versamark up, and it dries super quick. All right. That way, when I do the next ones, now I'm turning it this way. When I do the next ones, they're not going to stick. That Versamark's not going to stick on my plastic dealy bob. All right, so now I want to put one here. And I'm just looking to see that this boat is straight here and here. And like I said, I probably could have just eyeballed it, but sometimes when you look through the block, it's not quite the same, right? Because you've got that block thickness, and sometimes it's off just a little bit. So this way I know it's right where I wanted it to be. All right, so we have one going that way. And again, I'm going to heat it up just a second. I'm also going to be doing some embossing with powder. So that's another reason I have the heat gun ready to go. All right, so we want another boat here. And I'm just trying to make sure that they're about the same distance between the boats. All right, that looks pretty good. Now this time, because it's not holding the paper down, you just kind of have to be careful when you lift this up that it doesn't move your card, because the jig's not actually holding anything. It's just really holding my placement for my stamp. All right. So let's hope we can get the jig back. But if you have stamped any length of time, you probably have one. All right, so that's good. This will dry while I do some heat embossing. All right, so let's bring our little strips over. So I have mango and daffodil. And I want my happy birthday. Now, you can also use the white craft pad, but the catalog used the Versamark, so I'm doing what it said to do. All right, and this is new. This is coming in the new mini that starts July the 1st, and you get this handy dandy little tray. Now, it has a screw thing on here, but I just took it off because it was a pain in the butt to have to keep taking it off. So I just took it off. And then you have little tweezers and the brush. So isn't that fun? It's this little pack, you know, little trio or whatever. All right, so I have my white embossing powder ready to go. Then I want my Versamark, and we're going to go happy, happy. So Versamark. So if you do the white craft, you can see better. Now, let's see. Let me bring this to me a little closer so I can see. You can see it better than here, but we're just hoping I'm going straight. All right, so happy, happy. And then we'll pour it in our tray. And then I just kind of put it on there a couple times and let it sit so it kind of soaks in really good. So that looks good. All right. So And even with the tray, I still feel it on my desk. All right, so let me move this because I don't want to blow that all over the place. So let me bring my heat gun over. And we'll heat this up. So mine's long enough. I don't need the little things, but this is what this is for. This is, I think this is called a reverse. Is this reverse tweezers? Because you squeeze it to open it so that when you're doing stuff, you're not having to hold it. So I think it's called reverse tweezers. So isn't that cool? So that's what the tweezers are. They look like mammoth teeth, don't they? Anyways, so that's super cool. All right, so we have happy, happy. And then let's do birthday on the mango. So hopefully I'm not missed any. Hi, Francis. Hopefully I haven't missed any questions. All right, so, oh, I flipped it over. All right, so birthday. And then I just scoop it up in this powder that's still on there. Good. And then that's what this little spout is. So see, you pour it back into your little container. So that's why I took the little screw off, because I'm like, well, I don't want to screw it each time. All right, so I need to bang this more, but I don't want to mess with it too much right this minute. Okay. So let me heat my birthday. And we'll set this. So we have birthday. Very cute. I don't emboss enough. Isn't that so bad? All right, so let me unplug my heat tool. All right. Okay. Okay. Bring the card over. All right, so now we have our cute little card. And while I should have stamped on the inside, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to go birthday. I want my scissors. So I want to just trim this a little straight there. It was fun coming up with the twist card. I can't wait to share that. All right, so we have our happy birthday. And I have my dimensionals. So let me flip these over, and I want a couple dimensionals. So I'm just going to go, okay, so I know the B starts here, and the Y is over there, and the happy, so I'm just turning it over so that I'm getting it towards the end of the words. All right, so we have happy birthday. So I want this to come in, and I want it to grab about here. And I'm just kind of visually trying to see that this is straight here along here. And sometimes I'm off just because of the angle. Like when you're stamping at home, you know, you're probably right over top of it, like I usually am if I'm not doing a video. But I'm off to the side a little bit, so sometimes I miscalculate. And I notice that afterwards. Okay, so I want my Y's to be even. I want them to be the same place. So we have happy birthday. And then all I do is open this up, and I just trim by using the side of the card so that they're straight. So now we have our happy birthday. And then we're using the new rustic metallic adhesive back dots. Now say that 5 times fast. All right. So now these go in here, and then this is when I grab the pick tools. I already was explaining the pick tool. So we're going to grab a little baby one. I've moved them around here. So we're going to grab a baby one up here, a big one. And these are so cute. They're just, they're great. I need to get some more baby ones. they're just an awesome bling. And I like them because they're like a rustic. So they're great for boys or girls. But if you're like doing like a masculine card and you're like, well, I want to put an embellishment on there, but I don't want it to be real sparkly or anything like that, these are perfect. So look how cute that is. Happy, happy birthday. Now, I forgot to stamp the inside. So this is what I would put on the inside. So I would put another boat, and then you have these really cool like rings of the water. So that's what I would put on the inside. So let me show you why you want to keep the other pieces. So see, I did another card using those other pieces. So it's the same card, but I used the other two, the pieces that I kept. So it's basically the same card. So you have two cards, right? Out of one die cut. All right, so there is the first one. So let me get my pieces for the twist card. All right, so let me just really quick get these off my desk so I don't lose them. So what I'm doing is I've just kind of stacked them like this so they stay together. Okay. All right, so so now I'm going to use different bling. So I'll put that on there. So excuse me while I kind of clean just a tad. I don't want to waste your time, but sometimes when I re-watch the videos, I'm like, look at all that mess. All right, so let's see here. So I'm going to do very similar. So now this time I picked Pool Party. And I forgot to stamp my envelope. I told you I would. But I always stamp it afterwards before I put the cards away. All right, so we have Pool Party for our card base. All right. And then this time I did Pool Party and Balmy Blue because I wanted it to look like the lake. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab my Stamparatus so I can glue these together just like I did before. So the card goes up into the crook of the Stamparatus. Hold it in place with the magnet. Then I just make sure that's good. It always seems like it's just the one side I have to clean off. All right. So just clean this off. All right. So then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue it on here. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Tess. Linda made it. All right. Oh, so now I have to get used to putting that rubber band. So thanks, Jody, for giving me that tip. All right. So we're going to glue this on. So that's just like I did the other one. So we're just gluing that on there. And then putting it right up into the crook of the card. And just give it a good rub so that glue can adhere. And then hold that. And then we're going to put our Balmy. So I played around with some different colors. Because at first I thought, oh, I'll do Pool and Crumb. And then I thought, well, no, because I want it to look like it's the lake. So then that's why I picked two blues. All right, so we've got our Balmy. So I'm just making sure it's against that edge. And I'm shoving it up so that it can be against that. All right. So if you don't have the Stamparatus, it is really good for lots of other reasons other than just as positioner. All right, so let me put that back there. All right. So now what I want to do, I want to use the other stamp. So I want to use the boat, the guy or woman. It could be a boy or a girl. So it's the person kayaking. So I want to use that. I'm also going to use the soft suede instead of the Versamark because I want to be able to see the, oh, Susie Q, you're so fun. All right, I want it to be able to see the boat a little bit better. All right, so I'm just going to put, what did I say this was? Soft suede. And I inked it a little bit ago, so hopefully I didn't put too much on there. All right, let's see here. All right, so we want this guy going this direction. I'd like it when you just re-ink it, and what I do is I squirt a little bit, and then I have like a spoon. Remember, I picked up these baby spoons at the dollar store, and then I just like kind of very gently squish and move the ink around so it kind of makes the ink refill go around the pad better. So I don't over ink it. And sometimes I love the look of it because even though you do that, you'll still get a little darker here and a lighter here. And I love that variation. All right, so here we go. So we have our man or woman going this way. Now I want to put another boat going this way, like they're meeting on the lake. All right, so let me get this inked up. All right, so now I need to make sure I'm going the other direction. All right, or it would be a race, and that would be cool too, right? Where maybe they're together. Let me do this one as they're going together. So then it's a little bit different than the other one. All right, so this one, they're together. How's that? We'll just make it a tad different. All right, so give it a good push. So now you've got them side by side. We also have some really cool little extra pieces on this set. Now this is that one that looks like the, oh, you already like the twist better? Oh, that's so sweet. All right, so we have this little, it's like a pool, right? It's like the little round things that happens on the water. All right, so look how cool that is. All right, so you have that. We'll put one over here. So it's important to stamp off of the card as well so that your eye follows the card around. It's not just in the center. You also have this really fun, they're like a fish and lily pads. So I'm going to put a few of those on there too. So we've got some there. Put some here. Look at that cute little fish. So this is one of those stamp sets that I'm going to be keeping. Like I said, even though I won't kayak, it's just too adorable. All right, so we've got our cute little man in there, or a girl, whatever. All right, so then let me bring over my daffodil and my mango. Now this time I'm going to use the different greeting as well. So I had to cut my daffodil a little thicker than the other card. All right, so let me wash my birthday. All right, so now this time instead of embossing it, I'm just going to use the soft suede for the whole card. All right, so wishing you an adventurous, wishing you an adventurous, it has the word journey or birthday, and I'm just going to choose birthday again because I probably would send more birthday cards than journey necessarily. All right, so wishing you an adventurous birthday. All right, so I'm going to let that dry a second. All right, so let me let that dry a second. Let me wash this other canoe or boat, whatever. All right, because I want to be cutting that and I'm not heat setting it. So let's just do our inside of our card real quick. All right, so I'm going to put our canoe, boat, whatever, on the inside. So I washed it because it had Versamark on there. All All right, so we're going to put just here. And I'm also going to put some of these swirly things. And where's my fish? So I'm also going to put some of these. I love the little fish. He almost looks like he could be a baby shark. All right, so that's the inside. So these should be good and dry by now. Let's really quick show you what I would do to my envelope. So what I'm going to do for my envelope is I'm going to put the big canoe. And I usually just do the left corner. That saves you time for your stamp, your return, and who you're sending to without getting in the way of, you don't want to have too much going on the envelope so that the post office doesn't have any trouble, reading it. I know I've seen people go really crazy with their envelopes, and I love the look of it, but I always wonder if the post office appreciates that or not. So anyways, all right, so I'm just going to go like this on my envelope. So isn't that cute? And now when I put this in my little container where I put my cards, so I have cards to pick from, I know the envelope that goes with this card. It's a lot easier to stamp your envelope now than, afterwards. You can also do it on the back. So what you can do is, and Granny used to call them seals, and she used to always have these stickers. So if you hold your envelope closed, and then when you glue it, it will, match up. So you can do the back too. All right. So I've got my envelope. So let's finish this card. All right. So we're going to put our wishing you an adventurous birthday. I'm also changing my bling, and it's so important. Oh my gosh, if you don't have the polished dots, they are retiring. So there's only a few days, unless we run out of them before then. And I think they're $5.25 for, and I love them so much. That's what I'm going to use on the card because they look like water droplets. So some are like a pinkish color, and the other ones are like water. So I want to use those. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go back to the card. I'm like, squirrel. I talk about one thing and then I go to the next. All right, so we're going to cut our side just like we did before. And then, so do any of you, the fish jumping. Oh, yes. That little squirrely thing, to me at first it looked like the copyright symbol, right? Because you got the C in the center there. All right, so let me get so does anybody on here, do you kayak? Anybody that are on here? Your wish list whirlpool. Oh, it does look like a whirlpool. So there's so many things that it could almost be like kind of like a coffee ring. It could be the top of a stove. I'm just trying to look at it and think of different things, right? Like the burner of a stove. It could be that romper room. When I always go, oh, I see. Remember? Did you watch Romper Room? Or was that a Canadian thing? All right. And you go, I see Tess. I see Gloria. All right. All right, so we have so I'm going to pull these down a little bit because I don't want them to go too far over onto my people. So I'm going to bring these greetings a little further down on the card. All right, so again, I'm looking at the straight of the card with my cardstock here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I want to line up my S this time with my Y. So I want them to be about the same. Like that. And this looks so cool, right? So if you were doing a scrapbook page and you put this on a scrapbook page, I would leave these out because you could do that with a scrapbook page, but we need to trim them. All right, because it has to go in the envelope. But I love the look of that just extending out of the card. All right, so trim that. All right, so let me get my polished dot. So again, do not miss these because you'll be so mad because I love them so much. I mean, I bought a bunch of packs because I'm going to still use them. I'm going to still use them in classes and stuff because they're beautiful. All right, let's see. So I'm just putting these around. So they're kind of like bubbles. They're kind of like water bubbles. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I usually like to put a big one and a little one together. And then we'll put a little one down here. So see, they kind of look like a water bubble. So isn't that fun? So let me show you. All right, so hold on a second. So this was the catalog one. And this is mine. But this was me playing before. Because I always play and see what works and what doesn't work. Okay, so hold on. So this is why I went with the 2 blues. So this was the first card I did because I thought, you know what? I love Pool and Crumb together. I totally do. And I will be doing another card with this technique, but I'll use a different stamp set. So what I did was I stamped the guy because this is what gave me the idea for this. But then when I was stamping these, I'm like, well, is this dirt? Then you wouldn't really see that. If it was water and you're just seeing like the sand through the water, it would still be blue. I'm just kind of anal about trying to get it to look like right. So that's why I thought, well, if I just pick 2 blues, then it's just water. I don't have to worry about part of it is dirt, part of it is the water. So that's why I went with the 2 blues instead of these. But like I said, this will be cool with another stamp set. I also was messing around with coloring them. And I thought, well, do I want to color these? You know me, I love to color. So then I just played. So first I stamped it with the Versamark, and I was doing it with the water painter and the ink pad, and I didn't really care for that. So then I still had the Versamark pad, and then I used the blender pen, didn't really care for that. Then I did it with a Memento and just knew it was too dark. And then that's why I chose the soft suede because it was a little softer and more natural looking for the card. And then I colored with the blends, but I didn't necessarily care for the coloring. And then here it was with the Balmy and the Pool. I mean, it looks cool. And you can see, you know, kind of what it would look like on the card if it was colored. So it would be fine, but I decided to just leave it as it was because it looks totally cool without the color, don't you think? So anyways, all right. So let me, I don't think there's anything else. I don't think so. Let me spin this, put my hand there so you don't get sick. Ah. All right. So yeah. So wasn't that fun? I totally am going to be doing this technique. And there's like you could do that with the other whatchamacallits, the other dies, because there's some other fun shapes in there. You just definitely want to keep the pieces together that go together so that you don't have any problem matching them up. It's almost like a puzzle, right? You have to get the right piece or your puzzle pieces don't fit correctly. Twist for the win, yay! But I love them both. I love them both. And I have, so look at, I have like all of these pieces ready to go in their envelopes put together so that I can make some more cards. So anyways, but yeah, so I love it, love it, love it. So thank you so much for, oh yay. Thank you so much. Oh, and Tess, I sent you an email. Did you get that email? So anyways, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays. episodes, I think 132, and I'm working on something that I hope is cool. You know how like you make something in your head and it looks so cool and then it doesn't work? So I'm fingers crossed it works because I think it's going to be really cool. So that's what I'm going to be playing with the rest of the afternoon for my Teach Me Tuesdays for tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to say see you later. Have a great night, everyone. If you're in Arizona, who knows if we're going to get another storm tonight. If we do, let's just hope it's just a good one. All right. Well, thanks, Linda. Oh, okay. Good, Tess. Yeah. All right. It's about the class, the million class. All right. Anyways, everybody, I will see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. Oh, let me get my thing. That's always so awkward. All right. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. All right. See you tomorrow.